Hey folks, welcome back to Todd Bosley's world famous YouTube channel, Robert Edward Auctions, offering Garbage Pail Kids. Garbage Pail Kids have been one of my favorite long term projected, most valuable items I think you can buy right now. Although the prices are starting to get a little bit high, I'll just kind of take you through a little bit of their selection and then we'll look at each one individually. They have a few. They don't have a lot. Appears to be about maybe 8 to 10 items here available. So let's start with the first one. This is 1800, the 85 garbage pail unopened pack. So this would be a series one. It looks like there are two bids. It's currently at $225. And we'll take a look here. The first series is always a hard one to get a hold of. This is a mint 9 pack, so it's kind of exciting, kind of not. I'm not a big fan of the packs being graded because I feel like, especially with Series 1, if you have something good in that pack, you probably ought to take it out and grade it. There's not as many of those Series 1s as there are others. I mean, obviously others. The little description here, and obviously we know this is a parody from the Cabbage Patch Kid dolls. Topps made these. They were sued for infringement. It was a big mess, and of course, everybody has different feelings on the Garbage Pail Kids. From my perspective, though, I like them in the aspect of that they could be very valuable down the road, and that's really what I'm looking at. They were underrated for years. These came out about the time I was starting high school, so I remember them, and as many of you probably do. The unopened packs are nice, but you can see how expensive they are. For instance, this is the second edition here on the right that we're looking at. Its current bid is $800 for 61 packs, it looks like. So we'll take a look at that. 61 packs. There you can see them for, well, $800 right now. Opening bid was $500. I would not be surprised to see these packs go somewhere in probably the up to the $1,500 range. Although Series 2 definitely not as collectible as Series 1, but still good. I mean, still very popular. And these, I'm sure there's a lot of good cards in here. You have to understand, though, to get a PSA 10 out of a Garbage Pail Kid card is very hard to do. And it's hard to do because we can take a look at this one here. And this is kind of a good example. So this is a PSA 9. You can see the hologram in the middle, just that says PSA. That means it was recently graded. And this is a card of Nasty Nick, number 1A. Now this is one they want, so a number 9 is not to be discounted here by any means. But if you look at the card, to get a PSA 10, you first have to deal with the borders of the card. So you have to make sure you have sharp corners. You have to make sure that it's centered. But then if you look at the card even more, you'll see that there's a sticker that goes around the inside. Now that sticker has to be flat and it has to be almost unseen. And you can see the outline there if you look around. So this being a 9, the current bid at 400, definitely this bid is going to go much higher, I believe. If you had that in a PSA 10, you could be looking at it's several $1,000s, possibly as much as, well, maybe even more. I mean, you really can't even make a prediction on them anymore. This is a good one here. This one is Atom Bomb. He's one of my favorites. Again, we don't see it in a PSA 10. It is number 8, and he's graded in a PSA 9. He was recently graded. He's number 88 of the collection, but he is definitely one of the favorites for sure. He looks pretty good. He was recently graded at a 9. His sticker outline looks pretty good. His edges look good. I'm not exactly sure what caused this to be a 9, but you can see the back of the card looks pretty good. So we definitely do have that for number 9. That's available. That's currently at $325. Let's take a look at this one. This is going to be card number 13A, Ash Can Andy. We'll take a look at him. He's in a PSA 10. He's currently at $325. This is card 13A. This is a good card. This is a hard card to find. It's not going to sell for $325. I can tell you that. It definitely will go higher. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And you can see the back of this one. It has the Big Stink Award on it. So to be continued here on this. There's time left, 5 days or so, almost 6 days left on this card. You got to remember though, guys, when you're out and you're looking around, you can run into these at garage sales. A lot of people have them. A lot of people don't know their value still. Let's look at this PSA 10. Graffiti Petey. He's number 30B. He looks pretty good. He's a PSA 10. He was recently graded. That's a pretty good card. Let's look at the back. It's PSA 10. I mean, obviously any PSA 10 is good. The current bid is $300. Just remember when you're bidding on these cards at any auction, whether it be Heritage, Robert Edwards, anywhere like that, there is always a buyer's premium. Buyer's premium. Make sure that you take your time and you look to see what the buyer's premium is prior to bidding. That matters because sometimes it can be up to 30%. We have one last selection here that I want you to show you. So this is, it's a little bit odd for Robert Edwards to do this. This is a near complete set. So it says there's 80 out of the 82 cards that are available. Well, that's pretty good, but you're still missing 2 cards. Current bid is $375. But when you look through the cards, and I won't get into all of the cards, these are some of the nicer ones that they have. You'll see that they just probably are not going to grade that high. So if they were really great cards, they probably would have been already graded and pulled out, or at least added to this set and graded. You really have to look at the Garbage Pail Kids, and you have to understand that if you're not going to get a 10, unless it's a low number, let's just say the number is, if it's card 75 or lower, it may not be worth your time to do that. Because you can still go on eBay right now and you can find Garbage Pail Kids in PSA 9 that you can buy for $40, $30. And let's face it, I mean, sometimes it costs up to $50 just to get them graded. If many of you follow my channel, you know that I am an avid Garbage Pail Kid collector. I have expertise in all of the cards. I've spent a lot of time studying them, and I have a large collection of them. I am willing to help you if you have Garbage Pail Kids. I'll provide my number here at the end of the video, and I would be more than happy to take a look at your cards. You could just text them to me, and I could give you some idea of what I really think they may be worth, and especially if they're ones that may be worth grading or not. Don't waste your money grading cards that just aren't worth grading. But if you get time, check out this auction, Robert Edwards Auctions. It only goes for a short time. It ends on August 13th at 9 p.m. They've got a few nice selections here for Garbage Pail. And there's one here I will show you real quick. So these are 3 unopened packs. So you get these 3 wax packs, a 6th series, a 3rd series, and an 8th series, which are kind of nice. Not sure about the price on these. They are, I mean, $300 for 3 packs. I don't know, they're saying 22 here, so I don't really understand what they mean exactly. Oh, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. So apparently there are 22 packs total. So you're getting 22 packs at $300. They're all graded. Obviously, if that is the case, this is going to go much higher. Looks like that is the case. So it would be good for you to keep an eye on this. There may be a deal or two here that comes around. I personally have gotten many deals from Robert Edwards Auctions, things that I bought that I thought were priced very fairly. Even with the absorbent bidders fee that I had to pay, I still thought I did okay. Um, Garbage Pail Kids, guys, I think are something you want to put your money into. Doesn't mean you put all your money into it, but I think if you have a 10 or 20 or 25-year outlook on collectibles, I know in my personal collection, I'm in my early 50s, and I'm kind of looking at like a 10-year plan. The Garbage Pail Kids fit good into my 10-year plan because 10 years from now, I really believe they're going to be worth a lot more than they are, and I'll have something available at that point when I want to start taking it easy, where I can start, slowly selling off some of my collection. So think about Garbage Pail Kids for a long-term plan. Not sure you can buy them right now and just resell them quickly, but long-term, they may be a good play. That's my prediction at this point, and I think I'm pretty much right because if you look at how these have went up in value over the last, let's just look at the last probably like 7 years or so. They've really picked up some steam. The grading companies are all grading them now. That gives them more validity, and people are definitely seeking out the PSA 10s. Let's take a minute now and let's look at eBay and just see what they have to offer for PSA 10s currently. Now, when I search for any type of Garbage Pail Kid, I really like to do the auction, and I like to set the settings. You can go to filters, which is usually pretty easy. So you can select the auction, which is the easiest way to do. And then you can also sort it up here, so you can sort by, let's just see if we can find ending soonest. So that's your best way to sort. Okay, so this is an auction, this first one, but they have a set price of like $13,000 or $1,335. That's a good card. I personally would not pay for that because on eBay you can find some really good deals. I stay away from the 2022 stuff and newer. I like the 86 and older. So here's a good one in my opinion. It would be the Garbage Pail Kids 1986 Series 3 PSA 10 Rod Wad, and that's number 84B. And this particular seller lists Pop 17. So what that means, there's only 17 of these cards in that grade. It's currently going at $26. That could be a good investment depending on where you pick it up at. The one below it, which is ugly, there's only a population of 8 of these cards in PSA 10. It's a Series 2. It's at 140. I wouldn't be surprised to see that card go over 250, but you never know. It's eBay, and it just depends on when they're going to end. Sometimes people in California will put something on late at night, and of course, us on the eastern side of the country, that's the middle of the night for us, so we're not watching. And sometimes there's limited bidders. So I'm a little bit of a night owl. I'm usually up till at least midnight. So I'll check eBay on occasion just to see what's going on. And sometimes you can find some steals on there at night. Just depends. But you can see here we have lower numbers. I mean, you want to pay attention to the number of the card. This one here is 59A, which is Clogged Dwayne, PSA 10 Gem Mint. He's currently at $67. Now, for instance, that card, if I could buy it, it was graded by PSA a while ago. But if I could buy that card under $100, I think that would be a good buy. If that card goes in the like 150, 160 range, I probably would stay away from that. Then you got number 60, which is this one here. And you don't see that sticker. You don't see the sticker in the middle. And the sticker should be right in between the barcode and the number over here to the right. We don't see that. You know that this was made or graded, not made, but graded quite a while ago. So sometimes they think that, this is the philosophy anyhow, that PSA was not as strict in their grading back then as they are now. So most collectors like to have that sticker in the middle. Some people will tell you if that sticker isn't in the middle, you could expect it to go one grade lower if you regraded it. But here's how I look at it, folks. Once it's graded a 10, it's always a 10. That's what most collectors go by. Although there's there are some that don't. So, but this is a little look at eBay and where we're kind of at with some of the PSA 10 cards. I just wanted to give you a comparison to what's going on with the Robert Edwards auction. So you can see here, there's some good ones. I mean, there's some good PSA 10s that are available. They're cheap, like this one here. I mean, it's number 102. I like to be under 100. For sure, I like to be under, like, number 125. But this is 102A. Mugged Marcus. He's kind of an ugly guy. Oh, man, you could not get away with this stuff today. You definitely couldn't put these cards out. But, you know, even back when they came out in 85, these were banned from most schools, and there was a whole bunch of controversy over them. But remember that. When there's controversy, controversy sells, okay? And that's another reason why I think this is an excellent investment for down the road, just because they're so controversial. So if you don't have something going on some night, start checking out eBay. Look at the PSA 10s. Don't look at the PSA 9s or 8s or any of that. Just look at the PSA 10s. And if you can start collecting some of those, let's just say if they're under number 125 and you can buy them for under $100, you have some extra money. I think it's a gamble worth taking. There's no guarantees in life. Nobody knows. But at the rate these have been increasing, in the limited supply that's starting to happen with those, I think you got a chance of these becoming worth some real money. And remember, this was Topps, okay? And this was a sticker. So, not to put Topps down, but they're not the highest quality card to start out with. So, when you see a PSA 10, they're hard to get. I mean, honestly, you may have to grade a couple hundred cards before you get one PSA 10. So, for me, I'd rather go to eBay, Robert Edwards, or some other auction house that's fair and reasonable and buy it there rather than going through all of that of opening the packs and trying to find one PSA 10. It can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, especially with these cards. Folks, I'm Todd Bosley from Ohio Trading Coin and Jewelry. We buy and sell coins, gold, silver, bullions, diamonds, sports cards, and most importantly, garbage pail kids. I do a lot with paper money, hard to find things. Give me a call if you're interested. My number 330-323-9775.